Welcome back to Giggity Racing League Elite Cup Series on Wednesday. Boomhauer 01, it is a pleasure to be back in the booth tonight. We got Puddin', we got oh crap, I done messed up already.
It wasn't recording?
Yeah, jump in here, y'all.
Jump in the...
Tonight we got Fat as a new introducing. He's going to be making his broadcasting debut. Boomhauer, a seasoned expert from the Giggity Racing League, and T-Clay making his NASCAR Giggity Racing broadcast debut. Good to be with you guys. I'm looking for a good race here at Pocono.
I am too. I apologize for that. I'm a little bit rusty. I've been away for a couple months, so my first rodeo in a little bit, so y'all have to bear with me here, but thankfully I got these guys in here with me to help get me through it, and hopefully we're going to have some fun, some fast, and fantastic racing for y'all tonight.
Yeah, everybody in this lobby, I believe everybody in this lobby has raced Pocono before. We all know how slippery it can get if you don't have your car set up right.
Oh, yes.
What do y'all think is going to happen tonight here with this custom setup? You think everybody's going to have them dialed in pretty good, or we're going to have some slip-ups going on through the race?
Well, I think both. I think they're going to be dialed in, but as tight as it's going to be, because Pocono's a wide track going down the back stretches, but it gets narrow through the corners, especially on corner exit, especially the tunnel turn and turn one. That's where it's going to get sticky. Cars tend to get a little bit tight and kind of drift up. And with the new update, a caution will come out for just banging the wall hard enough with a car on its own. So it's, this is pretty much a test run for this whole thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how they react to it tonight.
As we all know, the track has 3 different corners, Fat, and like Boomhauer already brought up, turn 1, that can be like going into Watkins Glen. You got to be careful with that many drivers. You set your car up for each corner. Fat, where would you want to be coming off of to set yourself up in the last 2 laps? Do you want to set yourself going up to turn 3 to come out, or you want that drive coming off at turn 3 or turn 2 going? Excuse me. You set yourself up for turn 2 and then set up for a big long drive down turn 3 with that long straightaway. Where would you want to be, Fat?
Well, the thing I like about Pocono is it's a very tricky track. You can tune your car for 2 corners. You can't tune for all 3. So I'd like to have my car going into 2 and 3 real nice and getting that good run coming out of the final turn and try and get position on the straightaway. It's nice and wide, a lot of room. But we'll see how these guys. We'll see what kind of corners they decide to take for setup wise, and I think we'll have a good battle here tonight.
Boomhauer, you were talking about the new update for NASCAR, banging the wall. Have you done any little bit of research on that? Do you have a little bit of upside on what exactly is intel for that tonight?
Yes, we did. Actually, me, Taddy, Noko, and a bunch of us were actually practicing earlier. We started at Canadian Tire, which is, as y'all know, the second race this evening, and we was practicing here at Pocono. And a single car by itself, if you spin sideways, if you hit the wall hard enough and bounce off and come back into the race lanes, then yes, a caution will come out automatically, even if it's by yourself. So there's no more of this 2-3 car wreck and no caution coming out, like it has been in the past. And, potentially, somebody who has a good car getting caught up in somebody else's accident, having their races ruined. Now that caution's going to come out. But with tonight, it being the Elite Series, the best of the best in this league, I don't expect to see a whole lot of these cautions. I think, especially with these guys, they're going to have their stuff ready. They've put in the practice laps. They've put in the time and the effort. They know what they've got. They know what they can and can't do. So I don't expect to see a whole lot of those new cautions. Now, there's probably going to be a couple of them at the beginning, getting everything set up, everybody getting a feel for it. There's only, 11 drivers tonight, so it shouldn't be a whole lot of traffic. But we all know how that very first corner, everybody all bunched up together going into turn 1. The way, as I was saying earlier, the way your cars tend to try to drift up coming off of corner exit right up against that wall, that might cause a little bit. But other than that, I think we're going to have a pretty good race tonight. I think these guys are going to put on a show.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be a good show at Pocono. After that, we got a race going on at Canadian Tire. That's always a fun track to watch. Puddin', what's your favorite thing about Pocono? I know you like to race it, so let's hear what you got.
I love any type of track. I love technical tracks. Again, coming from my racing background of motorcycles in real life, racing dirt cars in real life, I love a technical track. And you can't get more technical than Pocono. 3 different corners, 3 different bankings, 3 different lines if you really know how to drive. And like Boomhauer said, this would be probably my 5th time announcing, very few cautions have been brought out in the Elite League. I might expect 1 or 2 more than we would normally see because of everybody's trying something new tonight. But once they get it figured out in that stage 1, I think everything will go all right. If you get hurt in stage 1, it's a 50% race, but you got to stay patient. You got to know that you have stages on, you know there's cautions on, you know that you can rebound. So patience will be a key tonight too.
Yep. Just got an update. Qualified has ended. Because y'all, been doing this, I've missed a lot of the season. Who are y'all looking at take home this trophy for this first race tonight?
Noco has been strong for a long time for the last 4 or 5 races that I've raced. He's been in a couple bad accidents, but was always right back there at the front. Boomhauer, you got to watch out for Noco. Yes. Look out for Key Taddy. Taddy is another one that is one of those great. He positions himself at the right time for drivers. Wicked's another great driver. If his internet holds out. There's just so many drivers to keep an eye on tonight, though, Boomhauer.
Yeah. Tonight we'll give you a quick little rundown of the teams and the racers we got in there. We may have an update for you here in a little bit with the actual order that they're going to be qualifying in, since that just got done. But tonight we have Taddy, number 20, which is with the underdog team. We got RJ with 24, which is with the RJM team. We got Flo with the 11, which is with the underdogs. We got Jake with the 43 with Noco, which is his first night on with the Cup Series tonight. We got Checkmate, number 9, with RJM team. We got Edtho with 22 with the Canuck team. Trout, number 37 with Noco. Noco, number 1, owner of the Noco team. Wicked, number 42 with Noco. And Buck, number 62 with Team Bro.
Yeah, unfortunately,
so we got a pretty good lineup tonight.
We don't have any of the group members running tonight. They were all busy, wasn't able to make it in. Shout out to my man Plant. How you doing? Hope you watch.
He's a great driver, very fast. We can play some very good driver, Boomhauer.
Yes, he is. From the list, I really don't see any slow drivers. I think it's going to be tight. And, it's, as you was talking, as technical as this track is, you've got 3 different corners, 3 different styles. But with the way that these drivers are, and also this is almost just a funky super speedway is all it is. It has the technical turns, but also them long stretches between turn 3 and turn 1, and between turn 1 and turn 2. I think the draft is also going to be a big, big factor there, because you pump the wall coming out of turn 1 or coming out of turn 3, you lose that draft just a little bit, and it can mess you up for the rest of that stage or until another caution comes out. So it's just a whole bunch packed into one big old track, which makes it... A lot of people don't like it. I love this track. And as y'all was talking about the corners and everything, turn 1's a little bit difficult. It's sharp. It's almost a U-turn.
That's turn right. 2, they do call this the tricky triangle.
Turn 2 being that straight 90 like Indianapolis is.
But turn 1 actually kind of reminds you of the late injury there.
Talking about the turns there, turn 1's actually a 14-degree banking. Turn 2 is going to be a 9-degree banking. And turn 3 is a very low 6-degree banking.
And I like turn 3 the
difference.
Most. For some reason, I've always liked turn 3 whenever I run this track. You don't have to get out of the throttle a whole lot. You can just get out and you can get right back in, maintain that speed, that constant turn through it. And if you do it just right, if you hit that entry right, you'll hit your exit right, and you come flying off of that turn 3. And by the time you're at the start-finish line, you're already running 190 mile an hour, making your way to almost 200 whenever you get to turn 1.
I like how you brought that up too, there, Boomhauer.
Go ahead,
My
Daddy.
personal turn.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right.
All right.
Good luck.
Got you.
All right. 10-4.
No problem. Sorry, guys, for everybody out there who's watching, we got a little bit of a technical difficulty, as you heard. No big deal. We're at that new format that Boomhauer and Clay brought up with us earlier. But with turn 2, that's one of my favorites. You can dive down if you hit your mark, but you got to hit turn 3 right. And a lot of people don't know this, too, is the straightaway is actually just as long, if not longer, than the backstretch at Talladega here. So 200 mile an hour going into turn 1. Like you said, Boomhauer, you got to be, especially if you're drafting, you're going to get an extra 5-6 mile an hour if you do it right. So you got to be a little bit more precise when you do that.
Yep. And sometimes if your car is just a tad bit loose, if you keep, because loose is fast, we all know this. But as flat as turn 3 is, without having that banking, you can lose your rear end in a heartbeat. And as quick as pit road is coming off of turn 3, I expect to see a lot of accidental pit road trips tonight. Me and Teddy were running earlier.
You're going to do that. You're going to get those speeding penalties too, like you said, when you make those accidents.
Because you're going to be running through turn 3 at 160 mile an hour. If you're spinning sideways, losing control of your car, coming off that corner, going for pit road, it is very, very hard to get that beast slowed down to 50 mile an hour.
Yeah, I think another thing to look at tonight is going to be, these guys have been working all week to set up their cars for this track. What they don't have when they're setting these cars up is those guys that are running side by side the same speed they are, and they're going to be having to enter that corner at a different place and start and finish from where they have been getting a car set up, so their car may not be as good on the track on race day as they're thinking it is for qualifying and practice sessions throughout the week.
Yes.
Going back to pit road. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Going back to pit road, I was going to say, can we see a lot of problems with entry on pit road since it is right off exit of turn 3?
If they're not breaking free coming off of 3, I think they'll do a pretty good job getting on the pit road. Like we've said multiple times, this is our Elite Cup. This our best of the league. So they've pretty much done a lot of practicing. I'm pretty sure getting on and off pit road. So I'm pretty sure you might see a few of them. Especially, it goes back to what you were also saying about not adjusting for the other cars around you at the same time. Because, say, me, for instance, I like taking turn 3, going on the entry a little bit wide and diving all the way back down to the yellow line right there in front of the rumble strips. If there's a car that gets a run on you coming out of turn 2 and he's on my inside, I can't make that big sweeping dive from the high line down low. And if I'm trying to get on the pit road doing that and there's a car down there, it's going to make it kind of difficult to do. You've got to whoa up a whole lot, and if there's somebody behind you, they don't know you're pitting, it can make for a bad situation.
Where do you want to be going into turn 1 on a restart from a stage? That do you want to go full throttle and be on that outside? Do you want to let off a little bit on the inside? Where do you want to be?
I would say the outside. I would definitely say the outside, just from past experience. Everybody knows high lines. You can, you don't slow down as much.
Oh yeah.
Here, you still have to do your bit of wowing down, but you've got longer. It's not a whole lot longer, but you've got that brief second or a half a second that you don't have to slow down as much because you're not making a wide of a narrow of a turn. You're taking a little bit wider. You don't have to slow down as much. You're not turning as much, so you can hold just a little bit more of that speed. Now, sometimes it'll give them the advantage because they can get back into throttle a little bit more than you can on that inside. But at the same time, you're holding more overall speed all the way around, so it should definitely make up, for some good battles coming out of turn 1.
Yeah, as we all know, we've raced this track over and over again, racing with our friends and everybody online, and it is very obvious that you know, you get that car out front that gets to run the track wherever he wants to put his car, and you got the guys behind him fighting, you can really create some gap here tonight. So that's going to be something to look at. You know, if a car gets out front, he may lead the pack, especially in that third stage. It may come down to fuel mileage, just depending on how the cautions and stages work out.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me to see it come down to stay, like you guys said, come down to gas mileage. I have commentated 4 or 5 of these now, and like I said, I've probably seen less than 5 cautions throughout the whole deal. These drivers, probably like you said, have been working all week. 1 click here on the spring, 1 click here, tire pressure. Everything makes a difference. Now,
I know for a fact they were still working on them today.
Exactly. So you know what your car's going to do under a short run. Then you try to go out and you want to know what your car can do in a long run. Then you want to know what your car can do in traffic. You want to know what your car can do solo. Yep. So,
well, we got the okay to accept the invites here, boys.
All right, let's get her done.
Great to talk with you. I've announced some of your races, and thanks again for Fat Pat and T Clay for coming in and announcing for their first Elite Cup race. These two are personal friends of mine too. Great guys, and they have great commentary and great insight into the sport as well.
All right, are y'all in here?
We are. I'm loading into Pocono Raceway right now. Again, guys watching, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Even if you aren't watching live, we know you watch this later on. Tonight we're going to be racing. The first race is going to be at Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle for the Pocono 400. We're running 50% with cautions and stages on. It's going to be a good race. Y'all just sit back and enjoy the action. We're going to try to talk it through and let you know what's going on during the whole race.
Fat Pat, you got 80 laps. 80 laps with stages. Do you go out and shoot your cards early, or do you go and make your adjustments and hang back a little bit? What would you do, Pat?
Well, I'm going for the longer run car here at this track. This is where the tires really come into play. You know, try and keep them tires.
Like Smitty had the pole.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt.
Jake's right behind him. I see him. Kind of just looks like they're just kind of taking it easy and getting a feel for their car, getting a feel for the track. I think around lap 10 or 11 here, we'll see some cars trying to get some more out of it.
All right. So our current running order. Ooh, we got R.J. Smitty in the Jeff Gordon 24. We've got Jake in the 43. We've got Noco in the 1. We've got Wicked in the 42. We've got K-Taddy in the 20. Behind him is
contact there, and the one in the 37 car makes a big move down low to get around the 1 and the 43 at the same time.
You see the 62 of Buck in the Brendan Gone car.
Buck has been not necessarily a dark horse, but he showed a lot of force. He just had some unfortunate circumstance. I think he can compete with Noco tonight.
I think he can.
Yeah, like I said earlier, as you'll see what's going on right here in the front, Jay Smitty's got the room to play with the field. He's got all the track he wants. These guys behind him are having to fight. He's creating a little gap on him right now. Let's see if he can take off from him.
All right, so we got the 9 car and the 11 car at the back of the pack. I'm not sure if there was something on the initial start of the race that got them that far back or not, but hopefully they're going to have to work together and catch back up to at least the 22 at those, see if they can get that draft and get back up in the pack.
Drafting, like you brought that up, was there, bro? This is the one downfall for Smitty. Is those other cars, if they stay single file, they can catch him a lot quicker. You were correct on that when we talked that in the pre-race. So,
but I'm not sure if y'all noticed this, if y'all knew this or not. Especially, I'm not sure if our spectators, those 10 or so people that are watching, I appreciate y'all joining in. Smitty currently holds the all-time fastest lap at this track.
Wow, yeah, so, I did not know that. That's all.
Yes,
is that for all competitors on Heat 4?
That is all time on Heat 4. He currently holds that lap time. So I think he said it earlier this week while setting his car up. So for him to do that and to be out front right now leading, I'm not sure if that's a short term, a short run car, or if it's going to be a long run car. But we know he's got the speed to be sitting at number 1 all time in that lap time right now. So we'll definitely have to see.
Awesome.
As we see,
so he was licking his chops coming into this tricky track.
Yes, he was.
We'll have to talk after the race. He may set the fastest lap time. He might beat his record during this race. Never know.
With Noco,
right now we got Smitty still out front.
I think because as fast as Noko is and as fast as Smitty is, if the two of them, even though it's separate teams, if the two of them get together and actually run a couple laps bumper to bumper, I have no doubt both of them will be sitting at the top of the charts before this race is over with.
Especially if we get a little bit of a draft help, that'll help push it down. But if I was side race Smitty right now, especially knowing the talent that I've got behind me, you've heard me say it once, I'll say it again, y'all. Drive through that windshield, don't drive out that rear view mirror. Drive the racetrack, not the driver. Maintain on what you got. Let them catch you. You make them catch you.
Yeah, just so everybody watching knows, these guys you see in the back of the field, just because they're in the back of the field in this race does not mean that they're not any good and they're not slow. These guys are top notch and top of the field of, NASCAR Heat 4. That just shows you how good of the talent is we have in this race right here.
Little
the gap we
battle
have
right
from
here
the front to the back.
between 37 of Trout and the 43 of Jake. Everybody, as you once said before, the race started, this is Jake's first run. Oh, as we said, 37 43, a little bit. This is his first run on Wednesday, so for him to be sitting here top 3, the first 10 laps of the race, that's, good signs. Alright, I'm not sure how many of y'all are watching Noko, but the way that he just went through turn 3, I'm gonna stick on him for a minute until he gets back around to turn 3 so I can see if he does it again. And this will explain what I was talking about the setup in the corner entry at turn 3 and the way it can help coming down the front stretch, coming across start-finish line, heading into turn 1. If you make that wide entry and drop all the way down, you can carry a ton of momentum through there. And the gap that Smitty has, I'm going to say he needs all the momentum he needs. He's going to need all the momentum he can get to try to catch that 24 car. Let's watch.
Also watching Noko, you see how low he's diving on turn 2. That's something different you don't see a whole lot. Most guys get pretty loose coming through there. It means he must have his car set up just to do that.
Well, when I switched to Noko, he took the low line that go around, but it looked like Smitty actually did what I was talking about. He went in high and came out low. And it looks like that might be what's helping him get his speed, as we are under caution as the 62 car. Ooh.
Yeah, we got one car, the number 9 car with the Hooter sponsors down pit lane right now.
No, 62 bucks on pit lane. Number 9 sitting on in victory lane right now. Yeah, he spun out.
Yeah, Buck spun out. We just got notification.
It looked like that car blew a tire or something because it was bouncing going into pit road. I mean, it looked like the entire axle came out from underneath it.
Could that have something to do with the new checkmate?
Yeah,
maybe.
9. Yeah, that could be also another, like I was talking about the update. It don't take a whole lot for these cautions to come out anymore.
Number 9 of Checkmate Taylor is now out of the pits after the wreck, so should be going back green flag shortly.
All right, here we go.
Going back green flag with Smitty out front again.
Let's see if Smitty can hold that lead again like he was.
Yep. Let's watch this restart. Here we go.
Got Jake on the outside. He's almost got his nose touching the front of that field for the first time ever, right, guys?
Yeah, let's see if he can do it. Here comes Trout at 37. Oh, as Trout gets a run on Smitty on the inside, gives him a little nudge, gets that run coming off. Let's see if Noko is going to push his teammate to the lead here.
He actually made contact with the wall there a little bit. That might have hurt him. He got 37 car. He's getting the push from the 1 car.
Yep, and they've definitely got the preferred line through that tunnel turn. You don't want to take that corner too wide, or you'll smack that wall coming off. It looks like Smitty held it. Oh, here comes the 43, making it 3 wide on the inside. Here he comes. Oh, 37 and 1 made contact a little bit. It looked like slowed them down. Let that 43 get around, and Smitty is starting to pull away as he got a little bit. Oh, they're getting swirly back there.
Yeah, we're starting to notice that. On the restarts from the start of the race till now, Smitty gets a pretty good jump on these guys just in a few laps. So. We haven't got a long green flag run yet, though, so we don't know what these cars may do or how they may fall apart. If you've ever raced NASCAR Heat 4, Pocono will tear your tires apart. So if you're not careful, if you're running hard, it will tear them up, and the guys behind you will catch you. You do not want to get your car loose here. it will slow
Yes,
you down
I had a
tremendously.
setup earlier I was testing out. I literally ran 3 laps and my tires were down into 60%. That is not what you want to happen.
Throttle control is a big issue to help save your tires, especially coming out of these corners with the 3 separate banks, like you said, Bill.
Look at these guys running 3 wide, holding it steady like there's nothing going on.
Oh,
These are
the
some-
11 makes contact. 62
Buck
gets
slide
loose
through
again.
that slide.
Oh, they dodged it. They all dodged him.
Again, this is a situation we talked about Furious again, where Buck is very fast. He knows he's fast. He knows he's got stages. Stay calm, compose yourself.
Yep.
If need be, this is something we didn't talk about. You can actually make a green flag pit stop and not go a lap down here. So
Yes,
if you
you
feel
can.
like if you want to go down a pit stop, go down the pits, make an adjustment. You can go down, make that adjustment, and get out, and still not lose a lap.
Oh,
the
as we
one
see,
car made a little
Noco,
contact
yes.
there.
Him and Trout were running side by side. Here comes K-Teddy in that 20 Toyota on the inside.
Oh, more contact. No in the wall real hard
Oh,
there.
43 in the grass. Somebody else in the grass. Looks like the 11.
Jake's getting banged up on pretty good back here. Let's see if we can get this car straightened out and see if we can get everybody back in line again. Jake's having to cut down to the inside. Number 42, number 9, number 1, all passing him on the outside, going down the straightaway on the front stretch.
Riding
Jake with the
flow.
hot seat right tonight's looking very good tonight there.
He is. I wonder though, seeing how this is his first, run in the Elite Cup, if
Wow, big
maybe they're
there.
picking on him a little
Big
bit.
contact like
I think
K-Tag
they
in the
are.
wall
I think
there.
they're saying welcome to the league. Let's see if you can get up to the front, because if not, we're going to run you over and we're going to get there.
Yeah, give him a little bit of hazing tonight, see if he can take it. But it looks like he's holding his own pretty good, as Smitty has just pulled away from this pack.
If you guys out there watching who has not tried out yet, we bring this up every time. If you'd like to try out and be part of and test your skills against some of the best drivers that are out there in league racing, as the 42 gets into no-go,
Wicked. And
goes
he
head
goes
wall
down pit
and
road.
wall. I was just watching that, and I don't know, will that bring out a caution with the new strict caution flag?
Yes, that'll be.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
will.
Yeah, there will. Yeah,
that's,
there we
you
go.
know, that's good to see. That right there is what we were talking about earlier.
Honestly,
where
if
one
Wicked
person
was
could
smart,
get messed up.
if Wicked was smart, he would have went down pit road, because he could have pitted, hit circle under caution, not pitted under the caution, having already pitted before, and he'd have been up front if everybody else would have pitted.
That's going to be something where everybody in this game with this new update is going to have to remember, because it's been natural instinct to try to stay out of the pits. Now that we can remember that, you're correct, that you can bring strategy into that.
All right, let's give a little rundown of our running order right now. As y'all know, we got see, and
Here we go. Back to the green flag here at Pocono
As
Raceway
maybe some
with
strategy.
the Giggity Racing League.
Is
as
that
we've
Buck back up? Oh, yeah, Buck's getting close.
as
Looks
we've
very
got Trout and Teddy on the front row. Maybe a little 2-tire stop, or
Any
maybe
chance
no
you
stop at
get,
all.
though, would you go in, Fat, Clay, Boom? Any chance I get, I want 4 freshies. I
Well,
want any chance I can get.
that
Doesn't
was
matter if I
only-
got 2
Your
legs
tires wear
you know?
out fast. You don't ever know how they're going to act. Your tires here really depend on how fast everybody else is going to run you.
Well, see, also one of the things that comes up with the tires, the looser your car is, everybody knows loose is fast. The tighter your car is, the more you've got to turn, the more it eats up those tires. So it also depends on how you've got your car set up, and how well your tire pressures, all that stuff, the wear of them, how well they hold up, depending on how you've got your car set up. So each person, nobody's going to have, mirrored setups, because everybody drives differently. Somebody can give you a setup, but you're going to have to tweak it for your liking. So it all depends on what your setup is, whether you're going to stay out when everybody else goes in, and vice versa. As we see Trout actually putting up a fight against Smitty.
Yeah, let's see if he can hang on there. I seen a pretty bit about a car length gap right there. Just got put out.
As here
J.R.
comes Jake
Smitty
in that
back to the lead.
43.
Jake is pushing it in there, man. He's looking good for his first Cup Series race here at Pocono.
Yes, he is.
I like how J.R. Smitty drives down below the yellow line, gets a lot of runoff, man. He really created a gap right there. Probably 4 or 5 cars just in that one turn.
All right, I'm gonna drop back here to Noko and see how his car does in all this traffic back here now, because he's used to being up front. He's used to leading these races. Now that he's back, as we see Taddy catch the grass and he is spinning.
Around.
Oh, who caught him?
Big wreck, big wreck, big wreck.
Caution
on turn 3. Gonna bring out the caution here at Pocono 400.
Yes, if you catch them rumble strips, it's just like Watkins Glen and Sonoma. If you catch them rumble strips coming through turn 3 here, it will kick your rear end sideways. You will catch the grass, and it will finish spinning you around the rest of the way.
Yeah, those rumble strips, like you just said, they'll kick you out like an ex-girlfriend. You got to be careful. There's a smooth way, and you want to be as close as you can. Cut that track time. But you're right, Boomhauer. You got to be careful about those. Yeah, and I think we just saw some victim of that.
That's why you get everything put in your name, so she can't kick you out.
Yeah, back to the racing here with the Giggity Racing League. We've got the Pocono 400 going on, and we've got Jay Smitty out front here with number 42 on the inside of him.
All right. It looks like
we got Buck up here in the
leader
front
here.
Nope, that is Checkmate Taylor.
Look at that, Jake.
Right.
Like I said earlier, Jake in the 43 is trying to put that nose out front just to say he ran up front with this Cup Series league. Let's see if he can do it here going. It
looks like Smitty and Wickens got the better restart though. It looks like their first gear's wound up just a little bit higher than Jake's is.
Noko in the wall hard there on mid corner.
Yeah, see.
Here we go. We got.
I think that goes back to
Checkmate Taylor out front for the first time today.
I think that goes back to what you was talking about earlier with the the way your car's set up. You're not accounting for somebody being side by side. So even though Noko might have his car set up perfect, being back here in all this traffic, as we see the 42 car get loose coming out of the tunnel turn, it might not be.
Can you switch to Jay Smitty and watch him run this as he passes?
I'm watching.
Out through here.
I'm watching Jay Smitty. He made
crazy, man. He just went past 2 or 3 cars in one turn like it wasn't nothing.
I was watching Jay Smitty there, and he passed them like they were standing still and pulled 3 or 4 car lengths. What he does not have right now is the draft, like Boomhauer talked about earlier, pre-race, so that they'll get that extra 4 or 5 mile an hour depending upon going into that corner.
Watching as many laps as we have now, I don't think Jay Smitty needs to draft. As long as he's got good tires, I think he's got it under control. I mean, these cars haven't caught him all day.
And it's also, as a team owner, can't really speak for Buck because he's running solo right now. But Noko, Trout, and Jake, they're all under the same team. Are you telling that if you're Noko, are you telling Jake and Trout, hey, run together, draft together, push each other, catch that 24 car?
I'd say no team orders. I advanced Jake up here to see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Race clean, as Roger Penske says in real life. I don't care who wins, just don't bring me 2 wrecked cars back home.
As we see him get a little bit swirly coming out of turn 1 as Trout gets
on the inside wall.
Fat, I know you're interested potentially joining the Giggity Racing League. What would your strategy about if you got advanced up in a hot seat, Fat, for this? What would you do? Would you play it smooth, or would you go prove yourself?
Well, I'd play it smooth to start and see how some of these guys run, and just kind of run my line, and just kind of go with the flow and see if I can make a move when possible.
Looks like it might be the stage.
There, yes, it was. We've got Smitty up front. We've got Jake in second. Excuse me. Buck, after his early troubles, finishing third in that stage. Edtho, congratulations to him. 4th place in that stage. Noko managed to bounce back for a top 5. We've got Trout in 6th. Checkmate Taylor in 7th. Go with the flow running 8th. We got Wicked Gatekeeper running 9th. And our fearless leader, Taddy, rounding out the top 10.
I would hold Caddy back if I was going to make a dark horse like we normally each week. I'd put Caddy. This would be my Caddy's my dark horse for the week.
Well, any of these guys can still win.
Oh yeah,
these guys are all good, and there's only 10 of them. So I mean,
my
that
dark
really
horse
shows you.
is going to be that Ford. It's the only Ford running tonight.
So apparently, you and I have different aspirations on manufacturers. We can bring that up later as they get wide back there. 4 or 5
wide in the rear
wide.
of the field right now, Puddin'.
As Jake is sticking to Smitty's bumper. He is not backing off.
He's right on him like bubble gum on a shoe.
That's right.
Pretty wide on exit of turn 2.
Now he's not so much. Like I said, you know, that turn 2 and 3, Jay Smitty's got something figured out in there. As you can see, Jake can pull on him right here in turn 1. As you'll see going in turn 2 and 3, Smitty kind of pulls a little gap.
Alright, we got Wicked back here making his moves. He's trying to get back up here to the front where he belongs, since he's taking it 3 wide, going around, go with the flow and K-Taddy. He's going to have to get back up that track if he expects to hold that momentum going through turn 1.
We're going to follow Jake here to go the hot seat right there in the 43 car. He drove it in real hard in turn 1, and he made 2 or 3 cars right up on Jay Smitty, and he's right there. He is right there in that draft. Like we just said, bubblegum on a shoe. He is right there with him. He's letting these boys know, hey, you're going to give me a shot? I'm going to take it.
Smitty didn't get that gap coming out of turn 2 that time. Looks like he's maybe learning from him.
Jake driving down inside to see if he can take his line away from him.
There he goes.
For the first time ever, Jake takes the lead in the Cup Series and gets a little bit of that fresh air and see what it feels like.
Smitty's going to try to cross him over.
Coming back.
Oh, his butt gets loose again coming out of turn 3. He didn't hit the wall or anything.
I think Jake may have done some adjustments during the pits there. May have got his car running a little better. Got Jay Smitty coming on the inside, going into turn 1, and Jake actually bumped the wall right before they went into turn number 1.
That's the thing
RJ
about
Smitty
turn
moving
1.
back up, and Jake's coming back up underneath him. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but I cannot. You cannot ignore the fact of this first place battle we got. They have been slide jobbing. They've been passing each other. They are trying everything they've got.
Look at the gap they have created on third place there. I'm telling you what, these guys are really pushing each other hard. We're going to see what's going on next couple laps, see if they can hold together or if one can pull away from each other.
All right,
hey, Fat Patch, what do you think? Do you think Jake's been sitting back there watching RJ as he passes RJ? Do you think he's been sitting back there learning from him?
I think he's been watching his line, seeing how he runs, and I think Jake found himself something here because as you see, he's right back in first place now, and I think he
and
was,
caution's out.
Yeah, caution's flag.
Is that a caution or the stage?
Things up now. I don't think Jake right there wanted to see that caution come out. Look at the gap they had on third and fourth back there. The
11 of go with the flow got to him late, but it looks like he got maybe a little bit swirly and caught the wall. Let's see now. As you were saying, Jake not wanting to see that caution, I have to agree with you there, because now, if neither one of them pit, if Jake or Smitty don't pit, that's going to put Smitty on the outside. The way that Smitty's got his car wound up for that short, for that takeoff, the way that we've seen him be able to jump to that lead, him being on the high line going through turn 1, I think that's going to play into his favor.
Do you think Smitty may have something else under his sleeve, though? Maybe he didn't pull his fastest car out to the line yet, though?
I don't know. The way he's running, it's hard to say. Can he get any faster? I don't know.
Now look at this pit strategy, because that number 1
Smitty may have backed down on something in the pits just because his car was maybe too loose or something. You never know. It's something we'll have to look and see into in the future.
He goes on that high line. That's what I was talking about. That high line plays into his favor as he looks to... as we see NoCo Team Racing, the 1, the 43, and the 37, all three making their way to the front. With Chuck Taylor pushing them.
For the first time tonight, we see RJ back quite a few spots here. Sitting in fourth. And contact between him and NoCo. And contact in the wall.
Car in the wall, and it looks like the 62 of Buck got the unfortunate circumstance that.
I don't know who got the lead on that. I think Jake.
NoCo.
I think Jake might have been able to hold on to the lead by the time when the caution flag waved. I think
they were
he
3
still
wide
had that
right
bumper.
after the caution came out, so we're not sure exactly who's going to be in that lead.
I think Jake still had the bumper out on him.
But do you pit here? Do you take new tires? I mean,
no.
A lot of guys were in the middle of the stage, so.
You just pitted literally the very last lap. You've got, 3 of your 4 cars are running up there with you. You've got the position. I wouldn't take the chance. You've already made your pit stop probably for this stage. Each stage, I think, is 25 laps, I believe, for the first 2 stages, if I remember correctly. A tank of fuel gets you 21 laps.
Jay Smitty to the rear of the field.
As Noco got the lead. So he did have the
back here and
keep an
watch
eye
Jay
on RJ
Smitty's
Smitty,
view, see what's going on here.
I was going to say, I'm going to pay attention to RJ just because of the simple fact of he's been dominant up front. Let's see how he negotiates traffic. He's had clean air. See how
I'm
he
going
does
to
this.
stick to this one Monster Energy car because now that he's up front, we know he has a fast car. Now that he's got that clean air, what's he going to do with it? Is he going to pull away like Smitty did? We'll have to
Buck's
see.
taking it 3 wide back here inside
62
RJ.
pushes Jay Smitty up. That gave him a little damage right there.
Just remember,
This
y'all,
is an
damage
area-
is on.
And it's an aero-sensitive track.
Yes, it is.
This is the kind of quality race we could
Jay
always
Smitty
expect.
driving way down below the line.
Yeah,
Actually
he's
took
driving
2
real
positions
hard.
away right there without, like it was nothing.
You kind of sense that he's a little mad that he got put back in the spot that he's in right now. I wonder if he's going to try
Probably
and
is. But
run a
he
little
don't.
hard, maybe burn them tires a little too
He
fast.
don't need
and it
to.
might hurt him.
That's one of the things about
Here
this
he
game.
comes.
You've got to maintain your composure. You start driving too hard, you're going to wear your car down, and before you know it, you're losing time rather than gaining time.
But as close to the points are, stage
Oh,
points
they're getting
are of
swirly.
value here, though, Boomhauer. I
Yes,
agree
they
with
are.
you. You want to maintain yourself, but as we've seen on Sunday nights, the point lead was only three different, separated first and second by 3.
Oh,
know,
it was the
K
20 and
Taddy
22
around.
get together.
Yes.
Edtho and K Taddy.
K-Taddy.
Yeah, I
And
think
the
we're all
caution's
sensing that
out.
Jay Smitty right now does not want to be sitting where he's sitting. Seems to be pushing everybody a little hard on the restarts, but I think he's going to work himself back up there. I think he can do it. I think he's got what it takes tonight in that 24.
Oh,
I think he was
absolutely.
looking smooth there. He just got bumped right there a little bit, though. But
He
you
got
know,
a big shot from the back, and that just kind of messed everybody up. It looks like a little
All
bit.
right,
and-
speaking
I-
of,
I
you was talking
agree,
about
Fat,
the way
I
the
agree.
points race was for Sunday. Let's go over the points race for the Elite Cup right now. We got Noco sitting up top with 342 points and 15 playoff points. We've got Trout sitting in second with 305 and 3 playoff points. Buck sitting in third, 297 with 4 playoff points. We got K Taddy sitting in fourth with 273 points and 4 playoff points. And Smitty rounds out the top 5 with 246 points and a playoff point. But
And look
him
what we
getting
have
the
here.
pole,
Jay Smitty out front again. He is
All
back in
right.
the front. I don't believe he pitted.
I don't
him
believe
and
he did either.
Noco. Him and Noco. This is not an unfamiliar sight, gentlemen. We've seen
No, it's
this for
not.
the last 5 or 6. This is very familiar.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not
and
just the
RJ
last
Smitty,
5 or 6 races. This goes back to the first season. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I've only been able to commentate for, like I said, the last 4 or 5 races, and they've definitely
Oh.
proved themselves. But look, the race was clean.
And the 11 gets spun around. He's by
See if that
himself.
causes a caution.
He didn't make contact with the wall, so I don't believe it's going to bring it out. And he's
I
stuck
don't
back
think
there
there's
by
no
himself with no drafting help. So that's
This is
going to
that-
hurt him bad.
This is that new strict caution rule. This, you know.
Oh, as the
let's see how
9
people
catches the
play with
wall.
that.
It scatters everybody. The 20 gets sideways.
Number 1 of Noco is right there on his
Oh,
bumper.
he gives him a
drives
little
in
bump.
underneath him.
He
He's
forces him out the
trying.
way.
We must be
He's
close to the stage 2 finish here, I would hope
Yes.
to believe. Maybe that will help the car that spun around, not get so many laps down. And we got a car, we
Yeah,
got
see-
3
Oh,
right
here comes Trout.
Yeah, we're going in. It's probably the last lap, I'm not sure, but
On the inside, he can complete the
they're
pass.
pushing
He
each other
completes
pretty
it.
hard right here.
Oh, Trout don't
Fat,
care
I
if it's the
agree
last
with
lap or
you.
not.
When
I'll
that
tell you
one car
that.
just made big contact with the 37. That might hurt us. That might hurt the nose of that car.
All right, you've got all 3 Noco cars right there. Do they team up together right now and get around this 24, or is it every
Here
man
comes
for
Jake
himself?
on the inside of Trout. Oh, he
Running
backs
3
off a
wide.
little bit.
Yep. I think he realized that was going to be a bad move.
Yeah,
that's smart
that's
on
what
his
caliber
part.
drivers get. You get smart drivers like that in other
Yep.
situations.
Oh, it
you
looks
see
like Teddy
somebody
gets
else do
loose coming off of
something,
turn 1.
inappropriate.
Or turn 2, my bad.
Man, you can tell the intensity is really fired up here at Pocono tonight.
It is.
We
Is
had a lot
that
of
Buck in
calm
third?
laps up front, but now these riders are really, really, really pushing each other to the limits.
I believe that is Buck in third.
All right, what a good way for him to bounce back after his early troubles, running third up there with Noco sitting right there next to him.
And Jake's sitting there in that 43, still trying to prove himself tonight. He's got a great car. He's been able to hold on. Right there, Noco's pushing the 62 of Buck through the corners. 43 gets a little high,
he
comes to
gets
the
a little bit
inside.
sideways in. Oh, he wasn't able to hold it.
Oh, that's the.
Oh,
That's
wow,
the
one car upside down. You see the EMS squad and the fire team's on the way out to the track.
That
Be on a caution
that
here at
is
the Pocono Raceway.
that is a Ric Flair moment if you ever seen one right
Oh!
there. These guys are definitely getting that. They are definitely going for it again. The drivers in this league are just so immaculate. They are so specific in their each move that they make, and they do it deliberate on purpose. And you'll never see put one in the wall.
You know, I give it to NASCAR and Heat 4, Heat 3. You know, all the heats for really making this presentation to where we can enjoy and watch the race like we're watching it live. They've done a good job with this, especially with that new spectator view they threw in there.
I've been
amazing.
I've been coached to try out for the Giggity Racing League, and as much as I would love to, I have more enjoyment sitting up here in the box with you guys because of what we've seen tonight. I get more fun out of this than I actually would probably participating.
If you think this is fun, try being the captain of a team, watching two of your drivers battle it out for an Xfinity Series championship.
That would be fun.
I had to do that last year with Larson and Flo.
I can
And that's
say
gotta
last
be a
night
great
I actually
thing.
got the
As
I
we
got
see
the
Trout up front.
Go ahead, Pat.
I got to actually. race
Teddy
a couple
makes
of these
contact
drivers
with the
last night,
22.
and,
And he
car
goes
in the wall,
around.
big car in the wall, big flip.
And the caution's out again.
Anyway, as I was saying though, I actually got to race with some of these drivers last night, or one or two of them in the dirt series, and it was a lot of fun. You know, they raced real clean, real fast, and real smooth.
Oh yeah, if y'all are dirt drivers out there watching this, if you want, if you're wanting to join a league, they're getting ready to ramp up the whole dirt series around here as well. So join that. I believe that was the end of stage 2 right there. Yes, it was. As we got R.J. Smitty once again taking home that number 1 spot. We got Jake again in second. We've got Buck sitting in third, Edtho sitting in fourth, Noco rounding out the top 5 again, Trout in 6th, Checkmate Taylor 7th. No, is that the first one?
I got.
Wow. I messed that up.
I got Trout. I got Trout
Yes.
for first.
Yes.
Noco.
My bad.
And I just got a message too. No cautions. Yeah. It said I got Trout, Noco, RJ Smitty in third, Wicked Gatekeeper for fourth, Jake in fifth in that hot seat, Buck in sixth, Edtho in seventh, Checkmate Taylor eighth, Go with the Flow in ninth, and K Taddy with the 10th. That's what
All right, you see who's up in front right now. We got the 62 of Buck. Let's see what he can do. Now he's got that lead. Let's see if he can hold on to it. It's 37 of Trout gets up there next to him. We've got also the 42 of Wicked Gatekeeper drafting off of him. And here comes Smitty again sitting in fourth, lurking back there. I got to say, as fast as that car's been tonight, I don't see anybody else. If as long as the cards play right and everything falls in order for him, I don't see Smitty going home with anything less than a win. The way that he's able to drive through the field as fast as his car is, as good as it's handling, he has got this thing dialed in tonight.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that as well. As long as he can kind of work his way around lap
As he
traffic
goes
there,
3
the
wide,
side
here they
on the
go.
inside of 37 to Trout, and he makes the pass, I believe. Oh, no, gets a little. Loose.
Somebody's
He
cut
makes
him
the
low.
pass.
Can he make it
Oh,
fast?
Trout
on the
hit-
inside.
Trout
Noco
gets
makes
hit by
contact.
Noco.
Yeah, Noco kind of seemed like he got a little loose on exit there and just couldn't stay off the Trout.
Yeah, I think he drove it in there just a little bit too deep, was trying to turn it a little bit too much, and the rear end came out from underneath him.
Oh, we see Buck trying to make a move on RJ here.
All right, let's see if he can do something with it. Maybe he can do the same thing that Jake did. Learn the line, watch what he does, and maybe try to pounce on it. They've got a little bit of a gap back to third place from Noco, so he's got room to do whatever he wants to do if he decides to do it.
Looks like Buck's got right, and he got a sniff of his draft. It looks like he got more than a sniff. He got a whole straw full. Here he comes, coming right on his bumper. Will he make that inside move?
Looks like he gave him a little bump right there going in. See, that's the way you do it right there. Whenever you suck up right behind them coming off of turn 3, you use that draft going down that long front stretch, and you just barely give them a little bit of a nudge going into one.
Car in the wall coming out of turn 1.
And caution
Was
is
that
out.
caution? Yes, caution is out.
This is a very uncharacteristic situation to see this many dandelions flying out there with the yellow flag, guys, in this league. This has got to be a result of that new strict caution rule.
I do believe I have to agree with you. Like I said, this is season 3. I was a part of season 1. I came in about halfway in season 1. I ran all of season 2. So I've ran with every one of these guys. I know the caliber that we're dealing with tonight. So I have to agree. It's got to do something with the update and the new caution rule and everything, because you usually don't see this many cautions at a track this size. There's plenty of space. You've got plenty of room to maneuver.
One thing I've been noticing though, a lot of times is switching back to different cars. Is a lot of guys are getting loose on exit of 1 and
Yes.
entry of 3, and actually exit of 3 as well. So I
1
wonder if these
and
guys
3.
are maybe running their. I wonder if these guys are maybe running their cars a little too hard here, a little too fast. Maybe the tires aren't sticking the way they like, and maybe it's something new for these guys. It's not quite sure what's happening here.
As we see Taddy up front leading for the first time tonight. Let's see how long he can hold on to it as Noco forces his way around. Looks like Jake's trying to get into this picture too, as here comes Smitty on the inside. These guys are not holding anything back.
A lot of these drivers probably set a car up for the long run, not assuming that there was going to be as many cautions. So I agree with Matt said, you set your car.
Caddy and Noco get into it, and Caddy's sideways. Caddy gets put to the back of the field. Caddy's around, and the number 20 default. See if that brings out the caution here at Poconos.
Yes, it does. As Checkmate Taylor has the lead. Ain't said a whole lot about Checkmate tonight.
And you got to be wondering what these guys are thinking right there. You got to wonder what these guys are thinking now on the track. Taking kind of the strategy out of the game, or putting maybe even more strategy into it with all these cautions and opportunities to pit, make adjustments if needed, and just watch them tires.
Be an opportunity to learn something for the future, though, with the new caution rule, like you said, Thad. You're probably right. A lot of these guys they're taking advantage of it to make a setup adjustment and make their car faster. But I'm assuming that they did yellows though at the same time.
And also, if with now that with the way the cautions are going to be falling now, if this is going to be around for a while, are you no longer worried about making long run cars? Can you now just stick to making short run cars, knowing that these cautions are going to be constantly coming out?
Yeah, these guys are prepared probably for that long run going into this third stage, and they really haven't got to use that car yet. They don't know how it's going to handle unless they did a lot of practicing with it earlier.
It looks like Edtho caught the apron
different cars going up to the front here.
And with the caliber of drivers that we have, Boomhauer, Clay, and Thad, this was the first race under the new rule setting, so I'm assuming that they didn't anticipate this like we talked about, but I can guarantee next race they're going to change their driving style to accommodate that new rule so they don't see any much. I'm sure their driving style now is a little bit different. And
here comes Buck.
Well, I'm glad to see that the cautions are coming out when they need to. I mean, if you watch a real NASCAR race, a little bit of debris on the track brings out a caution, which gives everybody else a chance to, get that car back up.
Here comes Smitty. Buck goes to block him, and it don't work.
They're going 3 wide down the front stretch.
And here comes Jake.
It's a shutoff contest. Who's going to get out of it first? This is not exactly what everybody in the field wanted to see. They did not want to see RJ Smitty with that clean air.
Well, so Smitty needs all these points.
Rear end, trying to get around the number 24 car. Let's see if he can work his way up to the front of the field. Caution coming out.
I think there's a car around there on exit of 1.
I really think everybody's driving style is going to have to change a little bit just because of that. And I do like the new rule because, unfortunately, we all have been a victim of the single car spin or some should have caused a caution and it hasn't. I do like the new rule, but everybody's going to have to adjust to the new rule.
It's going to test patience.
I think what we're coming to here is that we are in a race where we have 10 of the very, very, very fastest racers in the Giggity Race League, and these guys are used to running up front. They run through the week, Monday through Friday. They try to get in these lobbies with our friends, and we run these races, and they're used to running up front, and it's kind of hard for these guys running back in 9th, 10th position. They want to be up front too, so everybody's pushing these cars as hard as they can go right now.
And like Fat says earlier too, it just so happened a couple days ago, a bunch of everybody I race with and a bunch of the Giggity Racing League, we all teamed up and to race against some of these guys was just such an honor. It was an honor to race good, fast drivers, and it really put yourself in perspective, you know.
I was actually a part of the very first challenge in Giggity Racing League. We got challenged by Bootleg Racing. We ran a full 100% race at Michigan.
Jake makes a dive on the inside of Smitty. Can you complete the
All
pass
right.
here in turn 2?
And
Let's
that
see.
takes
It looks like you have the bumper.
Smitty's line away. But here comes Buck. Because we know how
Kinda
Smitty
getting a
likes to
little
dive
push,
down
and
below
there
that
it is.
yellow. Oh, looks like they got a little bit loose. Can he hold him
Jake
off coming through turn 3?
Jake has taken every opportunity tonight, and he's going to run with. He deserves to be here.
All
Jake's doing a
right.
real good job
I
of
think
kind of
Jake's
sitting
doing
back.
an awesome job.
Looks like he
he's
might
just
have
kind of
brushed the
sitting
wall a
back,
little
watching
bit.
the cars. And just, you know, he's running his line and just he's staying committed to his lines too, and it's really helping him here.
We
Smitty
have a
coming up to
shout
the
out
back of
request
him
real
though.
quick, Fat, from our boy Robbie Vids to
Yes.
Red 44. Thanks for paying attention tonight. Thanks for being part of the Giggity Racing League, man. We really appreciate that. That's from your boy Robbie
Oh, as we
Vids.
see Jake catch the wall. Here comes Smitty. He goes around on the inside. And here comes Noko. Here comes Trout.
Yeah, it looks like Jake pushed his car a little too hard there into turn 1. Excuse me.
Yeah, like we were talking before, I mean, you might not be able to see it from the online broadcast where it's showing, but if you don't get your car set up in these turns, it's hard to make it around some of these turns without hitting the wall, which is causing some of these cautions.
Yep.
Jake had a big run there on 20 on
Like I said,
RJ
this is a
Check
very
out.
very long track. It's a 2.5 mile track. It's wide down the back stretches, but the corners are tight. So, as I was talking before the race, coming out of these corners, the way it gets tight, the way sometimes your car can get tight and slide up. As we see the 42 get around the 37 of Trout, looks like Wicked's trying to get him work himself way up to the front.
And
I
43
gotta
of Jake is right there. He's diving down below that little bit. Cut every little foot off of that track. That shortens it up.
Now we all
I
knew
know
Jake
that-
was fast, but for him to be able to hold up here with Smitty like that, and for Buck, I gotta give the man props. I mean, the early troubles that he had, getting spun out, almost flipping down pit road, just the early wrecks. For him to be up here, you know, running top 5 in the third stage, you know, it shows a lot of resiliency. So, you know, props to him.
And Jake again making a dive on the inside of turn 1 here. Looks like
Can he
he'll
hold
complete
it
the
though?
pass.
Can he hold it? Nope. Here goes Smitty on the
my
crossover.
Smitty with the
Yeah, I think so
crossover. Nice
far
move.
we've seen that Smitty may have the best car, but these cautions that came out, I don't think that it's going to matter coming here towards the end of stage 3.
Because everybody's got a good short run car we've seen. You know, if you start second, third, fourth, or fifth, you know, we've seen them be able to make their way up to the front for a couple laps.
Ooh, big contact between
all
Noko
three
and
of them.
Three
All
wide
three of them
here.
make. As
Bucking
Buck
the
catches
wall.
the wall. And here comes
Good
42 of
observation,
Wicked
Fat. Yeah, I
Gatekeeper.
didn't see that.
I think a
Oh,
lot of
3
these guys
wide
have made
coming
adjustments.
through turn
Line and off
3.
Turn 2.
This one,
Look at
Caution's
it.
out. Caution's
there it
out.
is.
That's
I
why.
was just going to say. I was
Yeah,
just going to say.
I
don't
believe a
think
lot
they
of
can
these
hold that.
cars have changed their settings. You know, in the first stage of the race, we saw Smitty running away from him, and now he doesn't seem to be pulling away as far as he was.
I wonder if the new caution setups is going to adjust the way people do a preset on top of their custom cars, too, on the way they set everything up.
Yeah, instead of, you know, trying to keep it balanced or anything, why not go with a looser setup? Because, you know, like I've said 1,000 times already, loose being fast, if there's going to be a lot of cautions, you ain't got to worry about, you know, keeping it straight for very long. So why not run a loose setup?
I'm one of those guys during a qualifying session. Since it's a single lap, I'll dive into the pits on a looser setup, throw the tank at it, and then try to get that good qualifying lap. But when it comes to the actual race, I'll back my setting down and try to tighten it up for long runs. But being custom setups, you don't quite have that advantage. You know,
Nope.
you got to have the knowledge of how to fix your car. And again, the caliber drivers we have in the Giggity Racing League, it's no surprise to see they know what adjustments to make when they need
All
to make them.
right.
Yeah.
Here we
Also,
go.
another point to throw in there is that when you're running in the back of the field and all these cautions, you know, you get a chance to adjust your car and not have to worry about staying up in the front of that field. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot tonight is these guys in the back you know, they can take the risk. They can adjust these cars, and they can get faster and faster with the guys up front. They want to stay in the lead.
But
They might not
also,
make as big adjustments.
but also about the adjustments, if you're having a caution every lap or two, you really don't know what your car can do. So how
Correct.
do you adjust it if you don't know what it's going to do? If it's going to if the tires are going to fall off after 3 or 4 laps, you can't tell because the caution's coming out. So you might think, oh, I've got a great car, and all of a sudden we get a 10, 15, 20 lap run, and your tires are constantly falling every lap. You're stuck.
That's where you have to know your car, just like
Yes.
know your environment, know your track, know the track grittiness. You have to know what to do and when to do it, and the knowledge of these drivers is very impeccable to do that.
And it also goes back to practice, because everybody knows quick race and online racing is 2 different monsters.
That is correct.
Quick race, especially if you've got, like most people, they run the difficulty at the 105. Those AI cars, they don't move. They will not get out of your way. They will bulldoze you in a heartbeat. So it's hard to set a car up on quick race when you've got all these AI cars in the way. But then again,
and not knowing
if
where
you
the
finally,
AI cars, you know where the AI cars are going to go, whereas a human driver, you don't know if they're going to get loose or move on you. You know what I'm saying? Sorry to
But
interrupt
also,
you there, yeah.
it can be a little bit tighter. It can be a little bit looser. It can change. So you've got to constantly flip back and forth between quick race, find something that you think might be okay, then turn around and jump online and race with a couple of your friends, your teammates, your captain, whoever. Okay, is it going to work, or is it a little bit looser? What's happening now? Then, if it's a little bit looser, then you've got to go back to quick race. You've got to tighten it up, run a few practice laps, but then all of a sudden you're thinking, well, wait a minute, this is too tight. I can't even run 1 lap. So you try to loosen it back up again, and then you get back online and it's still loose. So you've got to know all the adjustments. I mean, it's not just, changing the air pressure here and there on pit road, blah, 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 and the wedge and the tape. I mean, it comes down to the slightest itty-bitty details as we see the 22 car catch the wall. But,
yeah,
I mean,
right
it
now
goes
we see
your
Smitty
clicks.
and Jake out front again. They got a tremendous lead on that third
Wow.
and fourth position now.
That's about a 4-second lead.
Wow.
Well, let's see
I'm watching
here.
it.
Let's
I'm
count.
back here. I'm
I'll
watching
count
Trout
from
here.
the
And,
start-finish line. And they come
wow,
back around.
Trout, Buck, and
I
Noco
can't even
got
tell. I'm looking
I
from
give it to
Jake.
Jake though. He is hanging in there. Smitty is not leaving him. He is right on his rear end.
I'm looking at
created the
Jake's
gap between
car.
third and fourth.
I'm looking literally from Smitty back toward Jake. I can't even tell who's back there. It looks like they're getting sideways, but I can't tell who's
Here
back
comes
there.
Jake side by side with
He's on the outside.
Smitty.
Oh, he's going to drop down,
Let's
maybe
see if
try that
Smitty drove
crossover.
too hard right there. I think
Yeah,
he did. I think
here he
Fort Greer's
comes.
going to take the lead.
All right, make a little contact coming out. Not too bad, but it looks like Smitty's just got the acceleration too. Not only does he have the speed and the handling, but he's got that car wound up in the, with the low RPM. I don't know how in the heck he did it. Because usually,
He
just like
drives
what's
way
it, like
inside.
above?
Let's see. I think he cut Smitty off there for a little bit. Smitty hangs on to it. 24 cars right on the
Well,
rear
see,
end. Let's
it's
see if he can put
weird
it back
to
in the lead
see.
right here.
usually like a lot of your lap times on the list, everybody aims for those lap times, but you can just throw a quick, short run setup together.
Which
Hit
one
the-
lap when it's a long race?
Yeah, hit the
Jake
leaderboard and be
drives
like,
hard to the inside. I don't know if he got loose there or what, but he went all the way down to the bottom of the apron, going down the straightaway on
maybe
turn.
he was trying to break the draft from Smitty. He could have done that. You
Last
notice
week we
if
saw
you
a
watch,
hot seat driver take the win.
Yep.
It could be back-to-back weeks where we see another hot seat driver who wants to prove themselves. And not only is he fast, but Jake has been out front and he's been clean all night. He has
gotta
certainly
take the
proven
camera.
himself in my eyes.
I gotta take the camera off Jake for a minute. We got a heck of a battle back here. We have Trout, Noco, Wicked, Buck, Checkmate, all battling for that third spot right now. I mean, this is one heck of a battle back here. I hate to take the spotlight off of Jake, seeing how he just took the lead from Smitty and everything, but I gotta show the rest of this stuff too now for our viewers. But this is
You just
We've got
spit out
some-
a whole bunch of names
Oh!
and went
Oh, and Buck
all you
around.
said was
Oh.
talent. All you
Right
said
now,
was a bunch
Jake
of
had
talent.
about a second lead on Smitty there.
Oh,
That'll
I
bring
bet
out the
you.
caution.
I bet you right now Jake is doing the same thing Denny Hamlin was doing Sunday, pounding that wheel right now, saying no, 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 no.
I agree. He pulled a little bit out on RJ.
Because,
I'm
like I
watching
said,
Jake right
he's
now
got
and
the
Smitty, and you can't even see the rear of the field.
because
holding their
Smitty's
camera
got the
from
acceleration.
car.
I don't know how in the heck he got the top speed, the handling, and the jump starts on the restart all combined into one freaking package. I'm not sure if he made a phone call to Chad Knaus over the weekend or something, but he has done something to that car, and everybody knows it. That's why, honestly, you don't want to see restarts.
Nope.
Especially if you're up there. If Smitty's sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, you don't want to see restarts because he's got the jump. He can get
And
out
it looks
to the
like
lead.
he fell back a couple spots because of pit strategy there.
He's still right up there in third behind Jake. So let's see.
That's all he needs to see, though.
And I'm sure I'm on the camera angle from the front of the car, so you're going to see the restart that he gets. Here he comes, jumping to the
Whoa,
inside
there he goes.
as he pulls
There's
a
that
Joey
acceleration.
Logano. And I
There's
just
that acceleration. There's that rear gear differential. There's that gear transmission to gear that helps too.
as we see Trout
Here comes Noco trying to put
temporarily-
his nose in beside
Oh,
Jake. Jake
Jake
slaps
catch
the wall a little bit. He's going to put him back a couple positions here.
It's all right though.
Number
It's a
9 also
long
passes
stretch. Get that draft. Here comes Wicked coming up to push him. Maybe that'll help him a little bit as they're going 3 wide. Here comes Flo in the top 5. My man Flo, got to give him some credit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Jake
thanks for
almost to
paying
the rear of the
attention tonight.
field.
This is great racing. You all need to, if you've never watched one of these before, tonight's your first one. This is something you can anticipate to watch every
Yes.
week.
Now Jake, number 43, which was leading the race momentarily all the way back.
Oh,
almost
he
to
makes
the rear of the
contact with
pack
22
now.
at though. Don't count him out.
Oh,
as we see
RJ
Smitty in the wall. Nope.
RJ
Yep, caution's
Smitty
out.
to the-
See, that right there
Wow.
can cause the caution. One pop off the wall, and you come back up into the racing track, into the racing lanes, and that caution's going to come out.
See, that's where the new caution rule comes into favor for RJ Smitty, because
All right,
that
so
wouldn't have
we've
done
got-
that before, so he's happy to have that now.
All
I
right,
mean,
so
Fat,
we've got
what would you
yes,
be doing?
yes, because
What
if
would you
you
be
didn't
doing
have
strategy
that,
wise to get it?
he'd be stuck right now at the back of the pack.
Man, this is some good racing here. I don't even know what I would be doing at this point. This is, and as you can see, this new caution setup here we got going. It's definitely, you can tell it's maybe affecting some of these drivers, and you know how they're trying to. A lot of leapfrog going on here with position changes and everything.
And
It's
also,
something to learn about too, because you and Clay and quite a few of our other Giggity racing competitors, we all get together on a Wednesday night and have ourselves a one race deal. You know,
And now for
so
the first time tonight,
Smitty's
Yeah.
dead last.
Giggity in the back of the field. Along next to him is Jake.
this could be an opportunity to see how, for everybody who's watching out there who's racing later, to see how this new caution rule works. It's going to play it'll definitely throw a twig in between the spokes to your bicycle, that's for sure.
Well, also
Yeah,
at the same
Trout
time,
out front now, so let's see if he can hold the lead.
I
Got a pretty
think.
good lead on third and fourth right now. Him and Noco.
Oh, Noco makes a
cuts to
move.
the inside.
He's getting himself set up for turn 2. We all know how Noco likes to dive down below that yellow. Oh,
A car in the wall in the back of the field.
That would be the 11 car of Flo.
No cautions comes out. It's surprising after the cautions we've seen this season.
Yeah, I know, right? But also with that caution, I think not. I'm trying to word this right. Oh,
Here
as we
comes
see the
Noco.
37 in the one
Noco
cuts the
gives him a
wall,
little rub and actually
and caution
bring
comes
the
out.
caution.
Once
He
again,
put him in the
something the
wall.
leaders didn't want to see. For broadcast out there, Boomhounder, how many laps do we have left?
If I had to guess the way these cautions are going, I'm not saying there's a whole lot left. I think that's another reason you're seeing these drivers, amplify their movements.
This will be the first overtime.
It's the overtime. All right.
Yep.
So,
We just got our first overtime warning, so that answers that question.
yep.
Ladies
Perfect
and
timing.
gentlemen, Sat, T. Clay, Boomhauer, if you had $5, put it on one of these drivers and you're bunching them up at Pocono for the first overtime, where are you going with your $5? Who
I'm
you
going
putting
with
on,
Smitty.
Sat?
Smitty's sitting back here in third or fourth. He's back.
Going with Smitty.
He's in fourth. We know how his car is on the restarts. He can get around these corners just like like they're nothing, just like it's just riding Daytona almost.
I wouldn't put Noco out of this either, though. He's starting on the outside in that number one monster car. He may be able to push it up in there.
On Noco here. Noco is making some really good moves this evening on,
Jay Smitty gets a heck of a lead on Noco, and actually I think he's going to dive down below him.
Yes,
he may dive to the first position right here as he slaps
Trout cuts him off.
Let's see if Trout can hold him off going in.
I don't think he can. Laps. Here he comes on the inside. Here comes Noco. He's got his draft. He's going to try to push him.
Trout and Schmitty, a little contact going on the backstretch.
This is why I don't want to race. I want to watch. This is every week I get on the end of my couch while broadcasting to you folks.
Schmitty and Noco. Schmitty's going low. I think Noco's going to slap him.
Noco makes contact with Trout.
And Schmitty's got a lead now.
Oh man, this is
where Noco's strengths come in.
Here we go. If we can make it to the line, it's going to be the last lap of the race, guys. Here we go.
But just Smitty's car, I don't think they can catch him. As we take the credit one bank, one to go as we take that long straightaway into turn one. It looks
there will
like
be no caution from here on out. This is the final lap of the race, guys, here at the Pocono 400.
Checkmate. Taddy's trying to make their positions. Here comes Taddy looking on the inside.
Look at Taddy on the inside of Noco. What a heck of a move.
He wanted
said,
to finish top 5 tonight.
I'm taking it to the front. He said, I'm taking this Yoder and I'm running with it. He's going to, look, he's in second, but you, with the talent behind you, with Noco and Trout, and Jake is still out there.
Noco gets sideways, catches the wall.
That's going to put him to the rear of the field.
That is not a good situation.
Is that a caution, or is that it? Is it the caution, or is that the race?
That might be the end of the race,
I think the caution came out. Smitty never crossed the line.
Yeah, Smitty never crossed.
Smitty never crossed the line. I think a caution may have come out, guys. Might be under the new caution rules.
Nope, that is the end of the race.
That's the end of the race.
That's the end of the race. We just got an update right there
as
from your
RJ Smitty takes it home. So where's my $5? Taddy finishing in the second spot. We've got Trout in third. Jake in his very first Elite Cup race finishing fourth. Checkmate Taylor running out the top 5. We've got Wicked Gatekeeper in 6th. Edtho in 7th. Buck running 8th. We got Go at the Flow in 9th. And Taddy in 10th. Or Noco in 10th.
For Jake to be his first night of the race, he got the fastest lap time out there, boys.
Wow, look at that.
Get RJ Smitty, Jake, and Trout in here to talk with us.
And honestly, looking at the points, as I was talking about earlier, Smitty was sitting in top 5, but he only had 1 playoff point. Now, with him getting the pole, sweeping stage 1, he got stage 1, plus the race. That right there is 5 playoff points for him.
That's huge. Let's see if we can't get him in here and get his thoughts on that race.
We got 7 minutes till the next race at Canadian Tire, guys. So y'all stay tuned.
8:15 road course, Cup cars. What could be better? Canadian Motorsports Park with this talent. Let's speak to the driver real quick before he goes and takes a slug of water and gets his bladder empty to concentrate on the next race. Boomhauer, can you get him in here?
Clay will have to do it. He's the party host.
But once again, thanks for joining in, everybody. This is the time. This is what you can expect every week. I sit on the edge of my couch every weekend and talk to you guys and watch this great, fantastic racing. If you'd like to be part of the Giggity Racing League, you have every opportunity. We would love to give you a chance. Come prove your talent. Let's see how good you are. Start off in trucks, work your way up. There's plenty of spots available right now.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to wait till after the next race to get some commentary on the interviews for the first race due to the fact that they're setting up, trying to get ready to qualify for Canadian Tire coming up.
Yeah, they're taking their breaks, smoke break, bathroom break, and all that stuff. But as I was saying, 8:15, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I hope y'all join in with us. I hope y'all enjoyed this race. I know for a fact I did. I'm pretty sure the rest of the guys in here did as well. as they've said, many times tonight, if you feel like you've got what it takes, you want to throw your competition in here, get in the mix, see if you can hang with these dogs, by all means, hit any of us up. NoCo, Smitty, RKM, Life as a Plant, K. Larson, Boomhauer 01, MP Roofer, any of the guys, Robbie Vids, all the guys in here in the booth tonight. If you want to race, all you got to do is ask. We'll find a spot for you. Don't matter what series it is. We'll get you in here. Go ahead.
It was great to speak with you, man. I've only got to call your races. I never got to talk with you.
I gotta say, it's been
thanks
over.
For being around a Fat Patch for your.
It's been over 2
race,
months since I've been in this booth, so I gotta say it was a thrill to be back. I'm glad I was able to do it again, and I'm looking for more opportunities. But
as of now, we're going to take a little break. We're going to play some NASCAR Heat 4 soundtrack until we get ready for Canadian Tire.
Thanks again, guys. We look forward to being with you. That, Boomhauer, Clay, we'll talk to you later.